Today, a grand jury sitting in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned an indictment against James Comey on 2 counts. The first count is that on or about May 15th of last year, he knowingly and willfully making a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. Count 2, same day, May 15th, 2025, that the defendant, James Comey, knowingly and willfully transmitting in interstate commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill the President of the United States. Both of these counts carry a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years.
It's official. We live in the dumbest timeline in human history. I mean, like, if this was in a movie, people would be like, who wrote this? But unfortunately, this is reality. So let's start here with this indictment against James Comey that the Department of Justice is bringing. They are quite literally going after him for taking a picture of seashells on a beach and posting it to Instagram. I wish I were kidding. I'm not. So most people probably remember this. This happened like a year ago. James Comey took a picture of some seashells in North Carolina and put it on Instagram, and the seashells looked like this. So, as you can see, it says 8647. Now, they're arguing that this is tantamount to a threat on the life of the President of the United States, 47th president being Donald Trump. Guys, I worked in restaurants for over a decade. I was a bartender. I managed places. Everybody who's worked in a restaurant knows that 86 means to take something off or to remove it, basically, if you want to put it in short. So, like, for example, we would use this one of two ways. It's like if you order, let's say, a salad or a burger or something like that, and you don't like tomato, and you're putting in the ticket for that order, you put, house salad, 86 tomatoes, right? Or burger, 86 tomatoes. And then the people prepping it know that means don't put tomatoes on it. The other way that we would use this is to let everybody on staff know that you were out of something so that they didn't order that because you don't have it to give to the person who ordered it. So like, guys, we're all out of oysters or something, 86 oysters. So that's what that means. They're arguing that the mob uses this like same term, which means like to get rid of somebody. 86, that guy means to like, to take him out. And like no serious court is going to hear this. Like, and I'm so embarrassed that this is coming from a grand jury in North Carolina where I'm from. But this is the state of the country that we're in right now. Like, it's completely insane. And even if it did mean that, like, kill Donald Trump or whatever, it's not a crime to take a picture of it. Are you serious right now? You're going after the former director of the FBI, who helped Donald Trump get elected in 2016, by the way, with the whole, like, Hillary's emails, nonsense that he released, like, right before that election. But you really think that the former director of the FBI arranged seashells that meant kill Donald Trump and then took a picture and posted it on Instagram and that constitutes a death threat? Are we kidding right now? Seriously, this has got to be the dumbest lawsuit of all time. And Kash Patel comes out there and says that we've been working on this for like the past 9 to 11 months. Are you serious right now? This is what you're putting effort towards, is investigating a picture about seashells. I mean, and this is at a time where like white collar crime is at a pretty much an all-time high in the United States. So they are allowing financial crimes of white collar criminals all over the place. And even if you do end up getting charged, then you just go to the president and you pay him $1 million and he gives you a pardon and he lets you off the hook. I mean, he's done it dozens of times. He did it with the guy from Binance, CZ. He did it with that guy who was ripping off, I think it was like nursing homes in Florida or something. Like, he's done this dozens of times. But this is what the DOJ is focused on. This is what the DOJ is focused on. We live in the dumbest time imaginable. Like, we are a complete laughingstock with Donald Trump and the Republicans controlling everything. On to the next stupid thing, because we're not only getting stupider by the minute, we're also going backwards in time. So the Supreme Court just basically overturned the Voting Rights Act. in their ruling, and it was 6-3. The Supreme Court is controlled by Republicans. It's a 6-3 majority. It was a 6-3 vote. And essentially, I think the epicenter of this was Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. But they're arguing that, you know, like, because a certain district is run by a Democrat, like a black Democrat or something like that. I can't remember all the details. That was, discrimination against, like, white Republicans. And so what they're doing is essentially they're saying that, like, you know, racial gerrymandering is totally legal. And, the only way that it can be viewed as not legal is if you explicitly say, hey, we're doing a gerrymander based on racial discrimination. And the onus is on whoever complains about it to prove that it was done on racial discrimination. Insane. But this is also what the Republicans do. They cannot win because they are a minority party. And furthermore, their policy is deeply, deeply unpopular. So what do they have to do in order to maintain power? They have to cheat. They have to stack the deck in their favor. And they're doing this everywhere. This is going to be all over the South. They've already done this. So North Carolina, for example, I put out a video, a week ago or something like that, about how the Republicans control literally everything in this state, even though the state is basically a 50-50 state. Like, we've had a Democratic governor the last 3 election cycles. Trump won North Carolina, but he barely won North Carolina. He won it by like 2 or 3 points or something like that. It wasn't like some huge landslide victory. But the Republicans right now control 10 out of the 13 congressional seats. Are pretty much, like, all of them are not even contested. They're not even close. And what they do is, with these gerrymanders, is that they take an area where they know that there's a lot of black people, for example, and they take the line and they split that with an area where they know that there's tons of tiny towns that all vote for Trump, to split that vote and make sure that the Democrats don't get more votes. So in North Carolina, for example, Greensboro, okay, this is a city very high density of black people and other minorities. And if you look at the map, it's like they go right through the center of Greensboro and split it off to go all the way out to the mountains. It's like, to just include all of this empty land with tiny towns, and all of those tiny towns that vote for Trump effectively, collectively disenfranchise the vote of the Democratic votes who would be in that area of Greensboro. It's so disgusting how they do this. And now the Supreme Court has ruled that, that's totally fine. As long as you don't explicitly say that this is a racial gerrymander. It's insane. The Supreme Court, a 6-3 majority, are MAGA Republicans. They're crazy. And, for Roberts, for example, he's supposed to be like kind of, like the moderate one. John Roberts voted for Citizens United. Like, he is ridiculously conservative. He's passed some of the worst decisions in the history of this country. They were part of the decision that got rid of Roe v. Wade. This court is completely nuts. And the fact that they have a lifetime appointment is like, we should have some sort of term limits on the Supreme Court. Let's be honest. Nobody votes for them. They're appointed for life. And I'm really mad at the fact that, well, first of all, what's her name? That Barack Obama asked her to step down before she got cancer. Ruth Bader Ginsburg asked her, hey, look, do you want to step down? You're not in good health. We can replace you, all this stuff. She said no, and then she died, and then now Trump has 3 Supreme Court justices that he got to seat, which is the least popular president in the history of the country at this point. Has gotten a third of the Supreme Court lifetime appointments. I'm also pissed at Joe Biden because there's no rule that says that the Supreme Court is only 9 justices. We could do a thing where we just say, all right, we're going to put more seats on the Supreme Court. And then whenever there's a Democrat that's in power, can just seat more people and cancel out the Republican votes, like the crazy conservative votes on the Supreme Court, and make it a little bit more fair. Because again, they get lifetime appointments, and nobody wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade. Just like nobody wanted to get rid of the Voting Rights Act. Like the fact that we even had to have the Voting Rights Act in the first place is sad in and of itself. But I digress. We got to get to more stupid shit. So, just the other day, we've got the Senate basically voted to not block Trump from doing military action in Cuba. And I know I don't talk enough about Cuba, but Trump has been doing a blockade on Cuba pretty much ever since he invaded Venezuela and kidnapped Nicolas Maduro. Cuba's an island country of about 11 million people. They got essentially all of their oil from Venezuela. And as soon as Trump took over Venezuela, they blocked all the oil going in, and they need it for everything. Like it's not just their cars and stuff. It's like their energy. So without oil, you know, the entire country has been out of power randomly. And and now, you know, like as if we don't have enough foreign intervention in other places like Iran, right? We're going to not block Trump from doing military action in Cuba as well. This was also a party line vote with only one Democrat voting with the Republicans to allow Trump to do military action in Cuba. Anybody want to take a wild guess who that Democratic senator was? This fat fuck here. John Fetterman, like, there should be some sort of like a fraud suit or something going against him. He ran as a progressive. The reason he got elected was because he was progressive. The reason that people in Pennsylvania wanted him is because of the stuff that he ran on. And he is literally, as soon as he got in there, I mean, I'm sure like the stroke had something to do with it, but like as soon as he got in there, he has voted with Trump and the Republicans almost exclusively. So he's betrayed all of the people that put him there, and we're stuck with him, or Pennsylvania's stuck with him, but like everybody, the whole country's stuck with him for the next 5 years. They get 6-year term, and he lied to everybody. I mean, he was always bad on Israel, but like all of this other stuff, I mean, he is awful. Anyway, so we're bombing Iran. We already bombed Venezuela and stole their sovereign leader. We're talking about possibly invading Cuba. We're also bombing Syria. We're giving weapons to Israel to bomb Gaza and Lebanon and Syria and Yemen. I mean, completely insane. And at what point did it become okay that the president just decides, hey, we're going to take military action here. We're going to invade here. We're going to do this thing here. And it goes to Congress to vote against it. Like that's not the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be, you have to get congressional approval first and then you do the thing, but they flipped it on its head. And I think that started literally back when, whenever, Bush in, I think it was like 2001 or 2003, I can't remember, where they passed that authorization for use of military force, where essentially with the war on terror, it's basically like, we don't need Congress to just start invading places and bombing places. So that's what's going on. And what Trump is laser focused on with all of this stuff going horribly wrong is he wants to do the ballroom, obviously, ever since the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, that wasn't even the shooter that they have, allegedly. Apparently, that was all the Secret Service. Like, the shots fired, it was all the Secret Service. After that, he's laser focused on the ballroom, even though a judge already said, you can't build the ballroom, you're doing it illegally. They're still trying to do that. He's still doing the Arc de Trump, and he's trying to put his face on money and on passports. We are governed by a freaking megalomaniac, narcissistic, dementia-ridden toddler. And it's so... this country is idiocracy. Like, if you've ever seen the movie, like, we are so far gone at this point. Like, we're pardoning white-collar criminals. We're bombing people all over the world. Our own economy is wrecked. The jobs creation has been anemic at best. Like, the last time I looked at a jobs report, February, we lost 72,000 jobs. The American economy lost 72,000 jobs. So we're not building here. We're bombing elsewhere. We're going after the former FBI director for taking pictures of seashells while we're pardoning white-collar criminals. And the president is laser focused on getting his face onto money and onto passports. Christ. I don't know if I can deal with another 3 years of this, man. Like, we've got to get new leadership. We've got to do like a page one rewrite. Like, this is insanity. And Trump's approval rating right now is sitting at like, I mean, the last time I saw it, he was at like 33%. We'll call his high water mark right now is like 35, 36%. And I know that some people with the whole Voting Rights Act thing, you know, like them striking that down, they're like, well, it's not going to really affect the midterm. I would not say that. I wouldn't say that because, you know, people used to think, well, there's no way they could wreck it that fast. And then look how much the Republicans have wrecked in just a year and change. So we're gigafucked. And this is the country we live in, unfortunately.